This is Red Moon Roleplaying. Masks of Nyarlathotep. Where last we left our investigators, two of them were in the clutches of the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. One was sitting at dinner, watching two cooling plates of sausages and mashed potato, waiting for his companions to arrive. He is who we will visit first. Shelby, you've had your dinner. You almost felt compelled to. The landlady of the hotel has been glaring at you, because, damn it, she's going to make this food whether the people are here to eat it or not. And if you sat by on politeness, thinking I can't possibly start my food until my friends arrive, she probably would have driven your face into the plate or had you kicked out onto the street for wasting damn good food. So you tucked into your sausage and mash. But Felix is not here to enjoy his. Madelyn is not here to enjoy hers. That doesn't mean immediately that something horrific has happened, though certainly enough times have now occurred where things have. You know where they went. You know they attended the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. Are you going to wait around for them, or are you going to seek them out?
As I eat the dinner, I do think this over, because many times we've worked independent from each other and things have been fine. But also there have been times where that hasn't been true. There have been times where we've been apart and the most astonishingly horrific things have happened. And it's so easy to slide to paranoia in these moments, to always be worrying about the worst. And it certainly doesn't help as I stare at their dinners, because I don't want to stare into the face of the landlady who's glaring accusingly at me for the failings of my friends to not eat their dinner. So after I finish, I wait a few more moments, just on the off chance that maybe they're coming through the door. And when that doesn't come true, I will excuse myself. I say, thank you for the lovely meal. It was very, very filling. Just when
her expression turns to one of pinched aggravation, which is close to what it was originally, but it gets slightly more pinched. Your friends will not be joining you then?
I thought they were, but it seems like they've caught up somewhere, so I should probably go and look into what's kept them.
You know, this much potato will not agree with my dog's stomach, she says, bustling over to the plates. But I'm not prepared to waste it.
Simply nod at this point, because I realize that speaking and trying to apologize will not get me any further.
No, there is a certain bloody-minded Englishness to someone who would rather poison their dog than throw the food away. But you can't argue with that kind of mentality. I mean, you probably should. But there are more pressing concerns, namely the whereabouts and safety of your friends. And so you grab a taxi, make your way to the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, whose building is not that far from the Penhew Foundation. Only about 2 streets over, in fact. You are dropped off outside. It is early evening, given that it is just dinner time. There are lights on inside, though curtains are drawn and the windows are far too high up for you to peer in. It is the classical Edwardian, tall Victorian building, where there's a cellar that you could access through an outdoor staircase, and no easy way of climbing up a front wall. Not that you're necessarily intending on climbing up a front wall, Shelby. There's a front door right there, looking very welcoming. There is a bell pull on the exterior, should you wish to signal someone, though knocking on a door has never failed you.
I confidently begin to walk up to the door, and as I look at the door and debate knocking or ringing, I suddenly realize I don't know what the plan was. If they were planning to misrepresent themselves or use their real names. So I think about it for a moment and go, I wonder what they could have done. But I can't possibly anticipate what false name they would have used, so I have to assume that they've used their real names. So I knock on the door.
As you are knocking on the door, Madelyn, you have been guided into a chamber of blindingly white light, where a number of the other servants and maybe guests, maybe neophytes in this cult, have gathered. It makes you shield your eyes. Even in your drugged state, you cannot just face this open-eyed. You can see the shapes and vague silhouettes of faces of young men and women, some older than others, but most of them young, sat around the exterior of this otherwise what seems empty chamber. They are clad in their white bathrobes, pressed against the walls, looking serene, as doped as you are. You are aware that you are drugged. It has hit you to the point that you know that you did not drink enough, you certainly didn't inhale enough to have reached this place of your own volition. And on the far wall is from where this light emanates. It is as if you're staring into an enormous gate, a portal, a circle of bright white sunlight. It's streaming out of that wall, almost with an unnatural heat that prickles your skin. It's not so hot that it blasts or sears you, but it does make your hairs stand on end. It does make you feel a warmth that is penetrating. And from that light, you are addressed. "Newcomer, you come to us for enlightenment. You must open your mind. You must give yourself to the golden dawn, and you will be blessed with great wisdom and power. Fall to your knees, supplicant. Accept me within you." The crowd around the wall, the cultists, who are each sitting there, cross-legged, almost in a meditative sense, all of them smiling, looking to each other, left and right, regardless of their age or stature within the cult, all seem very keen on this. They're nodding. "Yes, yes. Do not be afraid, supplicant. Fall to your knees. Accept me within you."
I feel a sense of muted and strangled panic in this moment. I just can't embody it because I'm not in full control of my faculties. And I've been in similar places like this before. It's one of the primary reasons why I never drink. And somehow I keep ending up getting drugged in a different direction. But it's one of those moments where I can feel myself drifting in and out of what I'm supposed to be doing, the expectations that I have, the goals that I have, the fact that I'm tired, the fact that this light is very alluring, the fact that this voice is hypnotic and calming. And I know that I should be on some type of stable ground because I recognize that I'm drugged, but I can't actually stand on it. So I have to reduce myself to the best of my abilities to just, this light is actually very warm. It makes me think of sunrises back home in the Bahamas. Nope, I have to stay focused here. But also it kind of reminds me of like afternoons in Peru, just the way the sun and the light permeates. Nope, I have to stay here. I have to focus here.
That's right. That's right. I can see the light is pouring into you. Disrobe. Let me see you in your glory, and you shall see me in mine.
It's a good idea, right? It's so hot in here and it feels warm, and I would love the sensation of this heat on all of... Where is Felix? And that thought just crashes into me for a moment. It's like, Felix, where is Felix? If I can find Felix, just don't speak. That's at my core. That is one of my best defense mechanisms, is just to shut down. A person that doesn't speak can't compromise themselves. So if I don't speak, as I drop down to one knee, I just don't need to speak. That's all that needs to happen. I drop down to my second knee, and the thought blinds me almost as bright as a light. Like, where the fuck is Felix?
The last time you saw him, he was laughing it up with Alistair Crowley. Can I ask you to make a... Given your drugged nature, I'm going to ask you to make a hard spot hidden roll.
Oof. All right, guys. I hit a 76 over my 53. That is a fail on my hard spot hidden.
Would you like to spend some luck this early into our session?
Nope. I just failed.
In that case, the bright light is growing to the extent... you're not sure that it is brightening as such as your eyes are becoming overwhelmed by it. It is now difficult to see anything other than bright white light even when your eyes are closed. And you can see nothing different from the light beyond what appears to be a humanoid silhouette emerging from it. Vaguely masculine and you think muscled, stepping out from its center, arms outstretched left and right, almost Christ-like, stepping out from the light and toward you. Felix, Alistair Crowley leaves you with a drink. I will be back in just a moment. This Miles Shipley business, we will arrange it for you.
That is amazing. I cannot wait to meet the man.
Eileen, send that hawker at the door away. We are undertaking business.
Yes, as I was saying, and really immerse myself in this art fully. I can't wait.
Yes, please, if you want to admire the art, you feel free. You spend as much time with it as you like. I have spent hours meditating. Listen, I could speak all day on the work of Miles Shipley, but I should really speak to the man himself. Let me see what I can do.
Thank you so much. Yes, I will do just that. I will study the art. I will see you later.
He exchanges the secret handshake with you again, but this time in parting.
Mm-hmm.
Pats you on the back and walks off, leaving you in the drinking chamber, this well-furnished lounge. Well, it's not quite as furnished as it was. All of the nude furniture has subsequently departed. And now you are just sat around with vaguely interested-looking, besuited businessmen. Some of them may be high and mighty players on the world stage. Most of them are probably just up-and-comers or interested types who think that they have a station more elevated than it truly is. You can overhear various snatches of conversation. Just as when you arrive, there is talk of Mephistopheles is at work in the underground. I have seen him. Another is laughing and saying, and that's when her face sloughed off. Really, it's sloughed off like a second skin. No, you're joking, aren't you? Too much time in the sauna is my guess. And an old man, puffing a pipe, says, I don't know why we don't just get back to the good old-fashioned orgies. What are you doing with yourself, Felix?
Well, I am playing a part here. I have been able to so far convince Mr. Crowley that I am someone who belongs here and someone who should be welcomed into this community. And I am pretty close to getting a hold of that address that I need to be able to find Mr. Shipley. But I do look around. What about Madelyn? What happened to her? I came with her. I sort of lost myself in all these conversations around the art and my role here within this organization. But what happened to her?
You can't see her. Indeed, it's possible she passed through one of the curtained partitions, leaving away from this room, but you don't know which one. You just lost track of her in your conversations with Crowley. He is, after all, such a charming man.
Oh, he certainly is. I mean, I can understand why so many of these people decide to follow him. There's something alluring about him, even though this is some pretty twisted business that's going on here. I think I'll try and see if I can ask for her, just to see if anyone saw what happened to her. I'll walk up to that man who was looking back on the joys of the orgies to see if maybe he's seen her.
What?
You don't happen to know there was a woman that I came with. I lost track of her. Do you happen to see where she went?
Nah. Was it her first time here?
Yes, it's the first time for both of us. But we hope it's not the last.
He moves his pipe in his mouth in a way that could only be described as provocative before extracting it and saying, I dare say she's, having quite a time.
Oh? In which way?
Any way she likes, I imagine.
I feign a laugh with him. Well, but did she walk off in that direction? Is it happening over there or over there?
Do you want? He pulls the pipe out, pokes you with it, the stem. You'll be something of a voyeur, young man? You something of a watcher or more of a doer? Eh?
Well, I'll take whatever's on offer.
I like you. I like your spirit. I like the cut of you. I do. Tell you what, there's some viewing vestibules. I'll sneak you into one of them, eh? You ever been to a peep show before? He winks at you a few times. Slides that pipe back in between his teeth.
Well, it's the first time for everything.
Come with me. Help me up out of this seat, far too low for a man of my age.
And I'll help him up, hoping that he will be able to lead me closer to where Madelyn is. I really hope that... Yeah, I just hope I find her in time. That's all.
He leads you behind a pair of plush red curtains. Meanwhile, at the front door, a tall, elegant, you could even say statuesque woman, of even regal bearing, let's say, answers the door and looks down on Shelby Shattuck. Clear off.
As she looks down on me, I dig deep into my Georgia and pull it up and go, howdy, ma'am. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt y'all, but I'm trying to find a friend of mine, and I was told he might be somewhere around parts here. His name is Felix Bauer.
The look on her face is one of absolute horror and disgust, and she has been within sight of the Miles Shipley artwork. Oh my goodness, you're some Buffalo Bill type.
I'm from Georgia, if that's what you mean. Proud to be American, but, I'm a bit lost. I'm not first time in London, as you might imagine. I'm just... my friend said he was coming to the Order of the Golden something or other, and then he mentions he was going to meet... Yes, well,
it's an exclusive crowd, and you're not invited.
No, I understand that. I just want to make sure that he's okay. Again, his name is Felix Bauer, and I understand that he might be here.
Well, Felix Bauer should choose to have better friends if he wants to have friends like us.
I certainly understand that, ma'am. I could be a handful, and I appreciate that. But if you don't mind, I start to step in and push my way past. No, just be a moment. I just poke my head in, look around. Just won't be a moment, and then if he ain't here, then I'll just head on out.
Good old-fashioned American bullishness. Can I ask you to make you can make a choice here. I'll give you a +20. She isn't a strong lady. You can have a +20 to fighting brawl or a +20 to strength, depending on which you prefer to use. Remember, if you use fighting brawl, you can tick it afterwards.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that, because it's 1 point difference either way, so I might as well go with one and get that tick on. And you said +20 to that, so it'll be 79 is my target. And that's a 57 under 79, so I made it.
She bashes you with the door a couple of times, but it's not enough to halt your roll. I say!
Just poke my head in. Won't be much of a fuss. You barely know I'm here. And as I walk right past her, trying to look around.
Alistair! She bolts past you. There's a cowboy in the lobby!
So yeah, I'll start looking through. I'll start looking through if there's any open doors. Trying to if I hear people talking.
Your eyeline briefly travels to the work of Miles Shipley, which cannot be mistaken for that of any other painter, but your mind is on things other than a haunted piece of artwork. You're looking for your friends right now. That's what dominates. While this is a large building you quickly start moving from room to room on the hunt for your companions, both of whom have now been squirreled away to hidden rooms, as we will soon see. Felix, you are positioned in what can best be described as a peep show booth. There is a slot as if for a prisoner to peer through a gap, a small bench that you can sit on, and the slot is at roughly eye level. You don't have to do much arching of the back to peer through. You can see that within, Madelyn is on one knee and seems very, well, she's uncomfortable, no doubt. You tell us, Bridgett, how is Madelyn feeling right now as this Christ-like messianic figure is emerging from the light to do something?
I would say, visibly looking in on her, she's absolutely uncomfortable. This is an individual whose nervous system is absolutely flaring between shutdown, fight, or flight. But because she doesn't have control of her central nervous system right now, it can't seem to land on anything in particular. So it looks like I'm trying to get up onto my feet, but my hip hurts and it actually just feels better to be here. It looks like I may be getting ready to attack this Christ-like figure appearing from the light, but that just doesn't feel like something I can commit to. Or maybe if I just shut everything down and ignore it, it'll go away. And just physically, all of those manifestations are populating simultaneously. So she probably looks like a writhing, uncomfortable ball of mess.
As you struggle, Felix, can I ask you to make a spot hidden roll?
That is a 12 under 48.
You can see that this figure that is descending a small prefab staircase toward Madelyn is indeed adorned as Christ from the crucifix. He is clad in a loincloth. There is a scar across his lower chest, his upper abdomen. His hands and feet have the scars of stigmata. He has a crown of thorns upon his head. He is bearded. He looks everything like the white Christian Christ that will later appear in a series of popular movies. But yes, this is a man who is handsome, who is well built, who is designed to look like every American church's vision of Jesus. And he is bringing his arms together now to cup Madelyn's chin in his hands. But that's not all. Because you succeed by such a degree, you see something else. He is not emerging from a glowing white portal, though that is certainly what Madelyn sees face on. You can actually see the rig behind him. There is a series of 4 spotlights that are beaming, no doubt powered by electricity. This blinding white light to fill this room, cut out any shade or darkness to make it a wholly overwhelming visual experience. Only from your vantage, removed from it, can you actually start seeing the corners where the light refracts, where the light emerges, and see this is all an extravagant illusion, in a sense. Combined with, let's say, a powerful drug, you could be mistaken for thinking this is some kind of religious moment.
Yes, that is concerning. I try to identify this room that I'm looking into. Can I judge how I might be able to get into it? We're on the same floor, are we? Or am I?
It is the same floor. There is no floor plan skill, but I think there is a navigation one. Is there in this edition?
Let's have a look. I have navigate, yes.
Let's go for navigation. You'll be able to find it regardless. What we're determining here is how quickly.
That's a 44. I don't got this.
Would you like to spend 34 luck?
No.
What about 1 luck?
Perhaps if it just takes a little bit extra time, maybe it'll be okay.
Where are you going? Where are you going? You're going to miss the best part, says the old pervert as you leave him.
And I try to put on my best perverted smile and I say, look, maybe this is enough for a lot of people, for really good people, but it's not enough for me. I need more, much more.
Top hole, gentlemen. Good thing. At which point he directs you to how to get involved. Take the blue curtains. Go through the blue curtains. Follow the passage. Go through the first door. Ignore the light and get stuck in, he says, utterly unrepentant. You can be the German Lucifer. Oh, sorry, I should keep my voice down. You should be the German Lucifer to our English Jesus.
I love the way that you're thinking, I say, and I follow his instructions, trying to make my way to Madelyn as quickly as I can.
As you do so, you're intercepted by Alistair Crowley. Ah, there you are. I was looking for you, Felix. So you have been getting the run of the place?
I have. I must confess that I have.
Now, I've got some news. I tried to arrange it. He holds you in place. He puts his hands on your upper arms. You can ignore him. You know he's about to start talking about Shipley. You can push past if you wish. This is your choice, Felix.
I believe in Madelyn. I believe that she's got this. We need to get Shipley's address. And if I make an enemy out of Crowley here by being rude, we might have to restart the whole thing. So just give him a moment here, and I'm sure I'll be able to get to Madelyn right after that.
Unfortunately, I couldn't persuade... I tried. I wanted Shipley to come here, to... maybe we could meet up, share a drink or so, but, he's very reclusive. He has been kind enough, however, to invite you to his personal address. Now, I ask that you don't share this with anybody. I'm on very good terms with Mr. Shipley. Can I ask for your word?
You have my word, of course.
As a brother of the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn.
And I reach out to do the secret handshake. Yes.
He does it again. 3 times in 1 hour seems excessive, but it seems to reinforce your bond. Now, you'll be looking for 6 Holbein Mews. It's near Sloane Square, southwest London.
Understood.
He pats you on the shoulder. Now, you have a good time. Enjoy yourself. But what do you mean, cowboys? He strides off, leaving you where you are.
And I immediately make a mental note of the address and the area that he mentioned, and then I try to see again, where am I now? Yes, what the man. He told me to go through the blue curtains, and I try to follow those instructions to get to Madelyn, hopefully in time.
You cannot help but be interfered with, because as you're about to part through the blue curtains, Shelby yucks his way into the lounge, being pursued by Eileen, this tall woman, and confronted by a backing up Alistair Crowley. Now, I don't know how you got in here. I don't know who you claim to know. I don't know who you are.
No, ma'am. Oh, hey there, Felix. I was looking for you. I didn't hear back from you, and we were worried, so I thought I'd come and check, make sure everything's okay here.
Felix, my brother, you know this redneck?
Ma'am.
Excuse me, I'm a sir. My name is Alistair Crowley. You might have heard of me.
Oh, no, but nice to meet you, sir.
Felix, explain yourself. You're inviting the dregs of society into this august establishment?
I'm so sorry. I would never, please, I would never invite anyone to do this to this place. No, it's all a big misunderstanding. You see, I just let him know where I was going in case something would happen, and I guess I just got lost here, and the time just passed. There's just been so many amazing things to see, so he probably came looking for me.
Exactly. Mr. Bauer here asked me on as his bodyguard and make sure nothing happened to his body. At that point in time, I pull my revolver out, and they say, if something happens to him, obviously I gotta take care of it.
Crowley immediately puts his hands up. Eileen puts her hands to her mouth and lets out a shriek. Meanwhile, in the God Chamber, Madelyn, Jesus is cupping your chin in his hands. He's smiling down at you. Be not afraid, he says. Madelyn, it's entirely up to you how you respond here. And for the sake of the audience and the players, I know I don't always need to reassure, but I'm not going to do anything the players don't want.
No, heard and above board. I know. I trust the table and I trust you. I'm just trying to figure out, in my head, what's the most colorful thing for the story to do. And there's a few different directions we could go. So many fun options. Okay, just really fast. I know we've got the blinding white light coming in behind Jesus here at this moment. Can I get another just very brief description on Jesus?
So Jesus is a white man. He is athletic. He is dressed as Jesus when crucified. He is all but the spitting image of how Jesus will appear in 20th century renderings of the blonde-haired, white-skinned Jesus. He is smiling tenderly, holding your chin in both hands, comfortingly.
I am going to lean my cheek into the caress, into the comfort, into the pillow softness of this white hand. And I'm looking at the stigmata. I'm looking up at the flowing blonde hair and this almost, effervescent Jesus. And it's one of those things where shutdown is starting to override my fight or my flight. And then it just occurs to me a conversation that King David had on one of his rants where he was going up and down about the fact that Jesus couldn't possibly be white. He was ranting about Jesus being a Middle Eastern Jewish man and that European culture had whitewashed him and there's no way he could have had blonde hair and blue eyes. And for whatever reason, I'm stuck back sitting on a stage trying to pretend to be interested in the ranting and ravings of another cult leader. But that does stick with me. That's that one moment of grounding when I go, something is wrong. This is wrong. And I think my fight kicks in fully in that direction.
Jesus smiles. He leans in toward you. And he says, loud enough for the congregation of cultists to hear, "Take of me my blessing, my child." And he pushes himself toward your lips.
And I am going to take every single drop possible as I bite his face.
He is unprepared for you to suddenly stand and bite his face. "What the fuck, Jesus Christ," he says, his accent abruptly dropping. "Fucking hell, get off me!" And he pushes you.
I'm going to do everything I can to claw onto him. If I can get a hand into that long blonde hair that he has the audacity to be wearing before me, if I can get another hand into his shoulder, I am going to continue to bite down onto his nose until I can feel my teeth connect through on the other side. And if I can't get on that, then I'm going towards cheek, I'm going towards lips. This is going to be the most marred Jesus in London's history, and we're going to tell this story together.
His wig comes off in your left hand as you clutch onto his face with the other, and you bite gnashing marks around his cheeks, his nose, biting through until you can feel ligament pop between your teeth. And the cultists in the room start screaming. This is not what they were expecting. They were expecting some kind of ritual defilement, which is very much the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn's trade. And they start pouring out of the room. The lights shut off abruptly. And he is wrestling with you, but more he's just trying to pull you away from his face. It's quite difficult to do when someone's got their teeth embedded into you, because the more he pushes you away, the more he bleeds, and then he abruptly crumples to his knees. "Please! Please! Jesus Christ!" There's no way Felix and Shelby don't hear this. And in fact, there's no way you don't see it, because as you are busy gabbling with Alistair Crowley and Eileen about the virtues of invitations and breaking in and being bodyguards and just happening to make your way into a secret society, a flood of cultists pours out from behind the blue curtain, some of them in tears, some of them wailing. One of them stops with Crowley. "It's all gone wrong, it's all gone wrong. She just started biting. Christ!" He puts his hand, the ball of his hand, to his forehead. "Fuck, I had to pay him 15 shillings! It's going to cost even more now!" And Crowley runs through the blue curtains.
And I look to Shelby and, "Come on, we have to get her."
Sounds good to me. Rushing after.
Well, you find Madelyn, you haven't been dosed with bath salts. So the fact that you're biting this man's face off, I assume, has a limit, but you tell us. What do they find when they emerge into this formerly spotlit room that is now illuminated only by one partial light?
If I have narrative control on this one and I have Christ at least beneath me, I think at this point, no, I'm not going to continue eating at his face. But with the sheer amount of what I've experienced from that child opening the door, from this ritual manipulation, from my central nervous system being in full flight, no, I'm not eating away at his face anymore, but I don't think that's stopping me from straddling him and just wailing on his face at this point. So there's likely blood coming down my face, smeared into my hair. I probably have his flesh that is dripping out of my mouth, but I'm just wailing on him, just blow after blow after blow after blow. And it's one of those moments, I think, there's a part of my trauma that resurfaces for every single moment since I've met these individuals, these friends, these colleagues, this new chosen family, that I have been either victimized or the damsel in distress. It's almost like all of that is coming to a screeching halt right now, where I can at least take control of a situation.
Alistair Crowley lets out a shriek. One hand goes to his mouth, the other to the side of his face as he stumbles back. He's not going to physically intervene. He does not know what is going on here other than outright violence. And as is often the case with bullies and manipulators like Crowley, when it comes to real violence, he is absolutely petrified. He does not know what to do. He is muttering, "He'll never play Mark Antony again. He'll never play Mark Antony again. Oh God, I'll never be allowed in the West End again." And he stumbles back to collapse against the wall. Felix, Shelby, you see this sight as well, and there's no way of getting around its monstrosity.
When I notice Crowley stumble back, do we have a brief moment when we are just us and the actor on the floor?
I would say so. He crawls out. There's no cultists here. Crowley can be present if you need him to be.
Then I'm going to quickly lean over to Felix and say, I'm going to grab her, kick us out, say that we never invited you here, just get us out of here so you can keep your cover, okay?
All right.
Then I'm going to loudly say, now you come here, girl. What are you doing to that poor man? And I start grabbing her off of him.
And I'll move up to Mr. Crowley. I'll get rid of him. This is all a horrible misunderstanding.
Get out.
Please trust me.
Out. Jesus Christ, get out. I'm fucking ruined. I'm ruined. I'm not going to survive this. I'm not going to survive this.
And I begin slowly moving away, trying to feign a sort of sad look, as though I'm going to lose a friend here.
As this is happening, I'm going to grab Madelyn by the shoulders again. When I get close to her, I'm going to whisper in her ear. It's like, just play along. I got this. And as I'm grabbing her, Shelby's going to accidentally kick the actor a couple of times. Like, oh, sorry, sir, you're under my foot. Well, let me just put my foot down. Oh, I'm so sorry. Sorry, I didn't mean to step you on your face there.
I recognize Shelby's voice, but Shelby didn't come here with us, so it doesn't make any sense that Shelby is in this room. But you know what? Maybe this is just in my own delirium. I wanted a friend here, and Shelby apparently manifested. So I think it's one of those things that, again, in my haze, I'm just going to bleed into this. Shelby is probably going to catch an elbow to the face, or at least a swipe across the chest as I'm still flailing at Jesus. But I think as I'm getting pulled away and I'm getting those last few swipes in along with the kicks, I'm going to spit a mouthful of blood down at him, and I'm going to say, delight yourself in the Lord, and he'll give you everything you desire. And I'm just going to continue thrashing as I'm getting pulled away by, I think, Shelby. It sounds like Shelby. I've never heard Shelby with an accent that terrible, so maybe this is still drugs.
And yeah, she's doing that, and just like, yeah, she's a bit of a wildcat, sometimes you gotta take a firm hand. Come on, let's go, man.
And so, the three of you leave the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, leaving Jesus a mutilated wreck, Alistair Crowley hysterical. The cultists fled to many corners of the building. The only person who enjoyed this entire thing was the pervert in the peep show. You spill out into Bloomsbury, leaving the building behind you. Madelyn, your mind is becoming clear rapidly. You can't think it's just because you've imbibed the blood of Christ.
My God, Madelyn, I'm so sorry for leaving you behind there. Are you alright?
You left me. Why did you leave me?
I just looked around and then you were gone. I was so engrossed in the conversation with Mr. Crowley. At least I have the address for Mr. Shipley. So we got what we wanted, but that was a bad scene.
What happened?
Does it feel like we got everything that we wanted?
I think so.
Shrugging Shelby off of me.
I think so. Let's just get somewhere and clear our heads, all right? And we'll head for Shipley afterwards.
Well, one of the few places you can go looking like you currently do is the Pink Leopard in Soho. They will take anybody, and we don't need to go into great detail of the drinking, the washing up, the stoic silences that follow. As Madelyn, you spend a lot of time grinding your teeth and thinking about your companions, thinking about, Felix. He did not keep his eye on you, and that wasn't really Jesus. There's a part of you, there's still for some reason a part of you that feels a sort of heretical sin was committed here, but that wasn't Jesus. And what he was about to do most certainly wasn't Christian. No, it is up to you, Madelyn, how it sits with you. But I have no doubt Felix has his share of guilt, and Shelby is sharing some feelings of relief. But now, oddly, the thing that overwhelms the two of you who are at the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn is hunger. You've not eaten all day. And Madelyn, you didn't swallow any of Jesus' face. And so, disconsolately, you settle down to eat some fried fish outside the Pink Leopard, under the moonlight, and allow the rest of the night to pass without comment. Come the morning, you're back at the hotel. Tell me, players, of your tempers and your moods. Madelyn.
That's such a difficult question to unpack right now. I feel hurt. I feel betrayed. There are moments when I cannot look at Felix, and then there are also moments where all I can do is glare at him, typically the side of his face or the back of his head. I feel an enormous amount of shame, especially in myself, because I allowed myself to be put into that position. To this moment right now, I still can't even remember how or when I was drugged. Like, I have enough sense not to have consumed anything while I was in there, but somehow it happened, and that's something that I won't be able to forgive myself for a long time. And I think that's all sitting on a bed of just percolating anger. And I know that I'm not finished with that cult. I know I'm not finished with that building. Either I am going back, or the authorities are going back, or maybe I give Mickey Mahoney the article of the year and provide a testimony, but all of that is going to have to wait, because I know better than to make a rash decision while I'm as charged and angry and wounded as I am now. And I think just because I wear all of my emotions on my sleeve, especially around people that I trust or that I trusted, a lot of that weight is just very visibly hanging on me.
Can I ask you to make a roll 2d6? That's how much luck you've gained. Because the idea of eventually selling the story of this to Mickey Mahoney and the Scoop will provide a form of catharsis that you're not ready for, sure, but will ultimately serve to heal a little, while also exposing these vile bastards.
Indeed, and appreciate it.
It's a very good idea. What of you, Felix? You've got the information you went for. That went further than anyone was anticipating.
Yes, I certainly am not proud of that. We got what we were looking for, but was it really necessary? Or was there a part of me that actually appreciated speaking to a man like Crowley? There was a certain kind of charisma, a certain kind of depraved... I don't know how to put it into words, but there was just something about him that made me want to learn more. I don't know where that was coming from. But I could have listened to that man talk for a lot longer than I did. But what almost happened to Madelyn there, the situation she had to get herself out of, well, that shouldn't have happened. I should have been faster. So yes, I feel shame over that. I'll have to make it up to her somehow, but I don't know how.
At times like these, it has become quite common for your phantom to make themselves known, to torment you. And in a way, something like that might be welcome right now. A form of internal monologue, a way of, well, an internal dialogue. The fact that you'd be able to confess your feelings to someone who may or may not be there, but you're alone. There is no phantom. You're alone with this feeling.
And that makes it more difficult. But this is something that I have to carry. And I'll have to try and make it right. Just have to allow it to take time. Can't rush stuff like this. So I'll give a weak smile to Madelyn, not expecting to get one back, and just stay silent.
Shelby, you can see how your friends have become fractured over this. You didn't see, or you don't even know yet, of everything that's transpired. There's been mostly silence since the occurrence at the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. But there is definitely a weight of responsibility on you now to lead this group. Madelyn and Felix they need their minds put on other things. And right now you're the person who's going to have to do that. Do you feel up to that task?
It's hard. Because I've never seen myself as a leader. I've just a writer. I was the second brother. It was always the first brother that got things and did things and led things. I was always the strange, weird brother that got sent overseas to explore his weird little interests. And now I'm in a weird little world. So it's hard. I do spend much of the night just trying to write my thoughts down, trying to get it all straight in my head. And it turns into a letter to Jackson, because we told him we'd keep him updated on things. And so it starts off as explaining things to him, and it kind of just goes from there. I start writing down my concerns, my insecurities. Seeing Madelyn's face covered in blood, seeing Felix so distraught, still not entirely sure what happens. And they're both adults. They're both capable of making their own decisions, but up to this point, we've all gotten through this by being together, by relying on each other. And then, I'm not entirely sure if I helped. I got them out of there, but I don't know. But I'm reminded that there's always at least one person who trusted me. And Rupert has never felt I steered him wrong. And Madelyn has told me multiple times that she loves and trusts me. And Felix has fought by my side in some of those horrifying circumstances. So yeah, there's a weight there, and I'm just maybe starting to realize it, but I also know that I think I can do it. Or I have to, at least. And so after I write the letter, I take that last page of all my fears and concerns, and I just crumple that up, throw it away. Jax doesn't need to be bothered with that. He's got enough going on. It's time for me to carry my load.
And so that is the direction of things. As you conclude your breakfast, the time ahead, the day ahead, will see you visiting Shipley's house. A broken crew of investigators, but not shattered. Perhaps what you encounter there will set you on the right path. We shall see.
You have listened to an episode of Red Moon Roleplaying, where we play Masks of Nyarlathotep for Chaosium's Call of Cthulhu 7th edition. Joining us as our keeper is none other than our dear friend Matthew Dawkins, and we were also joined by Bridgett Jeffries and Eddy Webb. The music was made by Ager Sonus and Halgrath, and we've also used Cryochamber's Lovecraftian compilation albums. All of this with the permission of Cryochamber. Check out their website at cryochamber.bandcamp.com or their YouTube channel for some moody dark ambient for your gaming table. We would like to give massive thanks to our champions of the Red Moon: Martin Heuschober, Simon Cooper, Julia, Camilla, Bob Lange, Cameron, Graham Barey, Doug Thomson, Lily, Maciej, Black Templar, Dennis Sadecki, and Leonhardt for their generous support. We would of course also like to thank all of our other patrons. Without your support, this show would not be possible. If you want to support our work, please check us out on Patreon. You can get access to bonus campaigns for Cult of the Lost, Call of Cthulhu, Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay, and Warhammer 40k Imperium Maledictum there. And you can also get early and raw access to all of our recordings, and hear your name read on the show as a champion of the Red Moon, as well as even play some Cult with us. Most importantly, that support is what keeps the show going, so do check us out there. Thank you again for listening, and remember, I am the last. I will tell the Audient Void.